covering Southeast Georgia and the Lowcountry. This is WJCL 22 Morning News. See us
The healthcare system is absolutely buckling right now.
Right now on WJCL 22 Morning News, Omicron emergency. The governor is now declaring statewide emergencies as COVID cases reach historic heights. A student walkout over COVID safety concerns. Hundreds of students saying enough is enough. Their demands this morning. All new this morning, a teacher pay raise push in Georgia. The governor's plan to get thousands of dollars straight to teachers and a possible timeline.
Basically felt like I was being, for lack of a better word, shocked with electric current.
As Alec Murdaugh's team of attorneys works to lower his bail, one of his alleged accusers is opening up. How the state trooper says Murdaugh stole $100,000 from him. It is right now 6 o'clock on this Wednesday morning, and we are live in Old Town Bluffton, where it is pretty quiet out there, but I still love the Christmas decorations. It looks so nice out there. We want to thank you so much for waking up with us right here on WJCL 22. I'm Emma Hamilton, here with our meteorologist, Jonathan Myers. And Jonathan, Old Man Winter, he is here this morning.
Here to stay throughout the morning for sure. It is cold, frosty start for a lot of areas and away from the coast. So some areas, Emma may have to wake up to scrape some of that frost
I
off
believe
the windshield. Yeah, for sure. So bundle up as you head out the door for school and work this morning. Let's look at those temperatures. A few spots in the upper 20s now. Most of us about 32 to 36 degrees, and around sunrise this morning we'll see those temperatures very close to that freezing mark. 9 o'clock temperature right at 40, and we'll see plenty of sunshine as we go through most of the day. Now late this afternoon the clouds begin to roll in, probably even later this evening could even thicken up, becoming mostly cloudy after sunset, but not a bad day. Temperatures will be warmer than yesterday, right around 60 later this afternoon. You can see how quiet it is across the southeast. Nothing going on this morning, so no problems with that commute other than those cold temperatures as we start things off. From now all the way through Saturday will be dry as we start the holiday weekend out, and also temperatures in the 60s. But towards the end of the weekend on Sunday, it's looking like a kind of a soggy day. Impact weather day coming up for us with a good chance for rain. I'll track out those weekend temperatures and also tracking out that chances of rain on Sunday in less than 10 minutes.
Jonathan, thank you. Heading outside now for a live look at traffic. We are at Highway 21 and Gulfstream Road, where it looks like there are no traffic issues out there this morning.
This is an extraordinary virus, the likes of which we have not seen even close to in well over 100 years.
Omicron variant emergency. Governors across the U.S. are now declaring states of emergencies due to daily COVID cases reaching heights we've never seen. Georgia saw a huge case spike yesterday, reporting nearly 26,000 COVID cases in just one day. And take a look at these numbers over the last 10 days. You can see the state reported its highest case number ever last Friday, with more than 27,000 cases in just one day. In South Carolina, nearly 6,500 people tested positive Saturday alone. Right now, state health officials say 34% of tests are coming back positive. The CDC says the variant now makes up 98% of all new cases. ABC's Faith Abube spoke with officials at overwhelmed hospitals and shares new data about the risk unvaccinated people are facing.
A six-fold increase in U.S. COVID cases in just the last month, driven by the Omicron variant, means across the country, hospital beds are at a premium.
We're starting to treat patients in hallway beds.
In Minnesota, an urgent situation inside the Mercy Hospital emergency room.
The healthcare system is absolutely buckling right now.
Virginia issuing a 30-day state of emergency to help healthcare facilities increase bed space and staff. New Jersey and D.C. also under emergency orders. Maryland, Maine, and Massachusetts all leaning on the National Guard as a record number of COVID patients flood U.S. hospitals.
Even though they say Omicron is probably more mild, I don't think we're necessarily seeing that with the unvaccinated.
New data from the CDC shows the unvaccinated are bearing the brunt of the virus, 17 times more likely to be hospitalized and 20 times more likely to die from COVID.
This is an extraordinary virus, the likes of which we have not seen even close to in well over 100 years. It is a very wily virus. It has fooled everybody all the time.
Across the country, Americans desperately trying to find COVID tests, some forming long lines in frigid temperatures. Hundreds waiting for hours in Northern California, only to be turned away due to a system outage. But this morning, as the Omicron wave sweeps across the nation, Glimmers of hope in New York. For the first time in weeks, the number of new COVID cases in the state is dropping.
Looks like we might be cresting over that peak. The continuing cases are slowing down.
And as for those at-home COVID tests the Biden administration promised, officials say the first round will start going out at the end of the month, with the remaining tests going out over the next 60 days. In Washington, Faith Abube, ABC News.
Genuinely do not feel safe in the school building anymore at this point. And I think after winter break, we crossed the line from in-person being better to remote and hybrid being better.
All new this morning, a student walkout over COVID safety concerns. Yesterday, more than 200 students walked out of Brooklyn Tech High School in New York, saying teachers and students are coming to school sick.
Having all of these children stacked on top of each other, especially in schools as large as Tech, is not ideal. And I think that having that hybrid option would just alleviate the stress and make everything a little bit safer for everyone.
School officials responded, saying they invited students who participated in the walkout to discuss their concerns and ideas. All new this morning, Georgia Governor Brian Kemp is pushing for all teachers and school workers to get a raise as soon as possible. Kemp plans to ask lawmakers to give teachers a one-time $2,000 bonus before the budget year ends in June. That amount would then become a permanent part of teachers' salaries starting July 1st. He also wants a one-time $2,000 payment to other full-time K-12 employees. Finally, a $1,000 bonus for part-time school employees like bus drivers, nurses, and cafeteria workers. Now to the latest in the Murdaugh family mystery. A judge still has not ruled on a request from Alec Murdaugh's attorneys to lower his bond. Lawyers from the former prominent South Carolina attorney claim Murdaugh can't even pay a phone bill, much less $7 million in bail. A court-appointed overseer said during a virtual court hearing on Monday, Murdaugh needs to use whatever money he has to pay his alleged victims and not free himself from jail. Now, one of those alleged victims is sharing his story this morning. Ann Emerson spoke with a South Carolina Highway Patrol trooper who says Murdaugh stole $100,000 from him.
We had wrecks galore.
4 years ago, with snow falling, it was all hands on deck for state troopers.
We had troopers and we have limited manpower. All the lieutenants went out to help.
And as Lieutenant Thomas Moore sat in his patrol car, he got hit,
causing it to basically drive up under my car and lift it up and then slant it back down, and it broke my seat in the process and threw me back.
The pain was excruciating.
And it basically felt like I was being, for lack of a better word, shocked with electric current. I felt like current was running through my arms and legs.
Moore says he was misdiagnosed for months, walking around with a broken neck.
Initially, I hired, I call it the Murdaugh Law Firm. I'm not sure exactly what the whole PMP thing is. But anyway, I went to Mr. Murdaugh. A trooper friend of mine that was retired recommended him.
With assurances from Alec Murdaugh that the money would come, Moore had surgery covered temporarily by his personal insurance.
At C5, they put in a metal disc. They actually fused C6 and C7 together and put in a metal plate. And that's pretty much the extent of it. They had to basically put Humpty Dumpty back together again.
As promised, $100,000 did come through, Moore says.
They paid what? There was $100,000 covered, and that's what they paid out.
So it was $100,000?
Yes, ma'am.
And that $100,000 came to you?
Yes, ma'am.
So how did you receive that money?
It came in the mail. I was called ahead of time, I don't know, a couple days maybe, and told that a check would be coming to me and that I needed to take it to the law firm and endorse it, and I never had access to that. And it had to stay in an account and nobody could touch it until this case was resolved.
And that's what happened for about 3.5 years, with his workman's compensation case still unresolved and medical bills piling up until Moore got a call from a lawyer at Murdaugh's firm.
Mr. Ball called me and said, "Look, Tommy, there's a problem, your money's been taken.
So somebody forged your signature.
Yes, ma'am.
And you don't know who that was. You don't know if it was Alec Murdaugh, but you know that you didn't sign that paperwork.
I don't know who actually physically signed it. I do know that Mr. Murdaugh took that money and put it in another account. I know he did that because the paperwork I was shown, unbeknownst to me, it was gone the day I gave it to him. It went somewhere else.
Friday, you can watch a brand new 2020 special on the Murdaugh mystery. Be sure to tune in for those new exclusive interviews coming out Friday night at 9 o'clock right here on WJCL.